I survived 100 days in a 100 by 100 world in Minecraft, and here's what happened. Normally in a Minecraft world, the resources are infinite because the world is infinite, but this one is not. So you can't leave this place. Everything is limited, even dirt, cobblestone, iron, everything is limited. And the mob spawn rates are also high due to less space. It all started on day 1. The first thing I did was of course getting wood because wood is a renewable resource. And after that, I mined some stone for stone tools, and using those stone tools, I mined some wood because wood is a renewable resource. I also gathered some seeds and set up a small farm because hunger is going to be a problem for some days. Soon it turned nighttime and I spent the whole night digging this mine to a level 12, and I found a good amount of iron too. The next day I found a lot of sheep, and using the wheat from the farm, I layered them and then built a fence around them, so it was a big milestone. But it took me all day because I had to chop down wood for the fence, clear out an area for the fence, and some sheep escaped and I had to get them back too. At night I went for mining and found a lot of iron and coal, no diamonds as expected. Later the same night I made the strip mine too. On day 3 I set up a small camp with furnaces and finally cooked some food, and I also set up some storage near that camp. Later I made this abomination which I call a tree farm. Yes, I know it's ugly, but as long as it works, it's fine. At night I finally made a bed and slept in it. Didn't do much on day 4, just chopped a lot of wood because wood is a renewable resource. I also found this big exposed cave, then mined some iron from it. Later I mined a lot of dirt and slept. I started day 5 with mining a lot of dirt, and then I noticed that the crops had grown, so I used the wheat to breed the sheep, and later I again mined a ton of dirt. Then I used that dirt to terraform the area, and yes, it was a busy day. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I expanded this abomination too. On day 6 I continued the process of terraforming and started building a house. I wanted the house to look very good, so I used a lot of wood and made the dimensions very strange, and I regret this decision a lot. Day 7 was a special day because I found a wolf near my farm and successfully tamed it, so that was very good. Later when I went for mining, I found literally every single ore possible in a single spot, except lapis and gold though, but it still means that I found diamond. Yes, I found a big vein but didn't mine the diamonds because I wanted to fortune pickaxe. After that I kept mining and found some lava too. That relieved me a lot because I was scared if lava didn't spawn in the limited chunks, and I don't know what I made or why I made this, but I made this thing. Day 8 was very rough. When I got out of the mine, I was greeted with a creeper, and after that, I took my dog into the sheep farm and found out that this untamed wolf got in the farm too and killed all the sheep, so that wasn't good at all. Later I used this atrocity for wood because wood is a renewable resource, and after that, I worked on the house for the rest of the day. It was day 9 when I started regretting the fact that I made the house dimensions this strange. I kept working on the house for the entirety of day 9, and as you can see I added some doors and also completed the outline of the house. It was a productive day. Day 10 was terrible. I wanted to make multiple rooms in the house, so I made 2 walls in the house, but as before, I made the dimensions super strange. It was way harder to figure out what's going on than it looks. Later I chopped wood from the apparently tree farm because wood is a renewable resource, of course. Day 11. The first half was just as boring as me, just working on the terribly shaped house and chopping down wood because you know the reason for that. But after that, I went for some exploration. Yeah, I know exploration is non-existent in this 100 by 100 world, but I still managed to not see everything in this world before. Behind the tree forest area there was this beach. That gave me hope for my survival because I did not expect to see sand in these 100 days. I mined a lot of the sand because I wanted to, and as I was mining, I found this sugarcane. That was very lucky, as you can see, because now I got hope for enchantments. By the way, that was the only sugarcane I found in all these 100 days, so even though I almost died at night, I can proudly say that day 11 was the best one so far. Day 12 wasn't really that productive, just placed glass on all the empty spaces for the windows, and also found a wandering tailor. You can guess what I did with him. On day 13, I finally made a real wheat farm near my house, and it is a lot bigger too, so now we'll get a lot of wheat from it. I also made this sugarcane farm because I need paper for books which will be needed for enchantments. Later I found 2 sheep and a cow, and that was perfect because I already had 1 cow and my older sheep were also killed by a wolf. Wasn't recording on day 14, didn't do much though, just did some mining, added a barrier in the farm, put sheep and cows in them, and also found a dog. All of the day 16 was spent by making the roof of the house, still didn't complete it though. Day 18 just chopped a lot of wood and added more of the stairs to the house. I was wasting a lot of wood because I didn't have a stone cutter, so making stairs with the regular crafting table was very expensive. But it doesn't matter anyway because wood is a renewable resource. On day 19, I finally mined the diamonds I had found earlier, but left one because I didn't need it. I made a diamond pickaxe and kept 2 diamonds for the enchantment table. I also mined 12 obsidian, which was enough to make another portal and an enchantment table, but I didn't make any of those 2 on day 19 because it was already night time. Day 20 was a milestone. Really don't know how I survived this long because due to the limited area, the hostile mob spawns are very high. I added another sugarcane farm here to double the production, also bred some cows for leather of course, and also did this, and I'm ashamed that I did this. I made the nether portal too high, and after that, I didn't have flint so I tried using lava for lighting the portal. I literally waited for like 2 whole minutes and nothing happened, so I just found flint and used that instead. On day 21, I added a room below my nether portal and I think it was a great decision because this is the room that I used for the most of this series. I added an enchantment table down there and crafted some books too. Later I went in the nether to see what's going on and nothing was going on really, it was a good spawn. Day 22 was very great because I wanted to make a mine from the room below my nether portal, so I started digging and heard skeleton noises. I mined a bit more and found a skeleton spawner and it was super unlucky because the spawner didn't have any chests or loot. And it looked smaller than normal too. I believe that's because I was using a mod to increase spawn rates of structures in the limited blocks and that mod probably bugged. By the way, that mod didn't help in any other things in all of this series, so that mod was probably a mistake. Anyway, later I started turning the spawner into a mob grinder and then slept. On day 24, I almost got killed by an enderman and realized that I need armor. Yes, I didn't have any armor before, so I made a full set of iron armor and went to the nether. And due to the high mob spawn rates, it was very dangerous and there was a fossil too, so I grabbed a bunch of bone blocks and took them back to the overworld. On day 25, I harvested wheat, bred cows for the leather, made this chest for all the farm related stuff. Later I took a hopper down in the mob spawner and completed the grinder, and I can proudly say that this grinder was very efficient and making it was a good decision. Day 26, harvested some sugarcane, fixed the farms a little bit. Later I found out that there was a small problem with the mob grinder's hopper system, so I fixed that and farmed some skeletons. On day 27, I did the biggest mistake. I tried to modify the skeleton farm. I tried making it so that all the skeletons come 20 blocks above the surface and then they will fall down so that I could kill them. I wasted a lot of resources on it and a lot of days on it. Day 28, started regretting the decision of trying to upgrade the grinder, did a lot of water stuff for the skeletons and it also leaked water into the grinder. Later I kinda finished making it but realized that it was super inefficient. On day 29, I fixed my mistake. I fixed the mob grinder and this time I made it go deeper. It took a lot of time. I had to block the previous water going up, had to remove every block that was in the way, had to do a lot of other tedious stuff, so it took all of the day 29. Day 30, another big milestone. Don't know if I should call day 30 lucky or unlucky. At the start of the day, I did all the normal stuff, made a junk chest, harvested some wheat, fixed the grinder a bit. But after that, I went mining and while mining I found diamonds. So the lucky thing is that I found diamonds, but the unlucky thing is that I only found 2. I was happy with the 2 diamonds though. On day 31, my friends manually added a blaze spawner and a wither skeleton spawner because in the limited blocks there was no nether fortress. And I want to beat both of the bosses, so I need blaze rods and wither skulls which are only found in the fortresses. Anyway, I harvested some wheat, bred some cows and chopped wood for a specific reason which you know about. Day 32, I kept working and finished the roof of the house. It was very tedious because I had to get wood, make planks and then make slabs because they were still less wood. But it was difficult to place the slabs so I used normal planks instead. Later I placed some fences on top of the house to make it look good. On day 33, I completed the fence on the roof of my house and I also decided to make this bridge which was useless because I never really used it desperately. It was just a waste of time and wood. After that, I just did normal stuff and crafted a shield too because I was going to the nether in some days. On day 34, something terrible happened. I went into the nether and tried to kill blazes near the blaze spawner. It was very hard to reach them so I started making this bridge. Got hit many times. I was trying to kill this hoglin and the hoglin was trying to kill this blaze. So I went near it and got hit by a piglin on the back. The game literally froze for like 2 seconds and continued to lag. I tried to run but there was soul sand below me and the hoglin killed me. So I don't believe it was my fault. It was the game freezing and lagging at a point where I could have easily lived. So my only fault was not turning on my Nvidia graphics card. The next day I got all the things back except for my experience levels. On day 36, I was depressed because of the death, so I decided to not go in the nether for a lot of days. I made a bunch of bookshelves and I also started making a waterfall and a river. I also did a lot of other decorations near it, added some sugarcane, added some wheat near the river, and it looks very nice. On day 38, I farmed some wheat, collected some leaves, and then went for mining. Kept mining for some time and found diamonds pretty quickly. And this time it was a big vein. Still didn't mine it though, waiting for the fortune pickaxe. Later at night, I hunted some mobs and then slept. On day 39, I found some wheat again and bred some cows. I had some leather, so I crafted some books and bookshelves. It's getting close. I checked enchantments for some time, weren't that good. Later I went for mining and found some iron and redstone. Started day 40 with checking enchantments. They weren't good because I didn't have enough bookshelves, so I didn't enchant my stuff for now. Then I went for mining, kept mining for a lot of time and found diamonds. I'm getting very lucky with these diamonds, so I'm excited for the fortune pickaxe. Later I bred a lot of coals for leather for the bookshelves, and after that I chopped down a lot of trees for a good reason. Day 41, bone meal, then farmed some wheat, bred some cows for leather and crafted another bookshelf. 8 more are left only. Later I found a lot of skullboards and hit the sack. On day 42, I made this storage area and put a lot of chests in there. Later I bred and killed a lot of cows, and I seriously didn't know that drops of leather are this low. I killed a bunch of cows but only got a little bit of leather. Using that leather I made some bookshelves, and later I killed a bit more cows and made some more bookshelves. On day 43, I made the mob grinder a lot more efficient because I found out that there was some water leakage in there. So I fixed that, and now as you can see there are a lot more skeletons. After that I kept grinding for EXP for the rest of the day. On day 44, I completed the enchantment table so I can get the best possible enchantments on my tools. I had level 30, so I put my diamond pickaxe in there and it gave me efficiency 4, which was very nice. Also, I didn't know you get to keep 27 levels after the enchantments, not complaining at all. Later I made another diamond pickaxe and checked the enchantments, and it said I could get fortune 3 if I had level 30, so I farmed a lot of skeletons, got to level 30 and slept because it was night time. On day 45, I enchanted my second diamond pickaxe with fortune, and it gave me unbreaking 3 with that. I needed that too, so that was very good. Then I went to the mines and mined all the nice diamonds I had saved. The fortune gave me 27 diamonds, which was the perfect amount you need for the full diamond armor, so I made exactly that. Later I found some more skeletons for EXP. On day 46, I got very lucky. I started the day by making this anvil. It was quite expensive. I used the anvil to combine both of my pickaxes, and that made a very powerful pickaxe. After that, I found some skeletons and went for mining. This is the lucky part I was talking about. I found a big vein of diamonds, and because I mined them with the fortune pickaxe, I got 20 diamonds. And that was super lucky. On day 47, I made a diamond sword and a diamond axe. After that, I spent a lot of time on checking enchantments and found an enchantment for smite too. I thought I'd get another smite 3 book and combine that, so I took the enchantment, but got disappointed by seeing that I didn't get any extra enchantment with that. Later my brain stopped working and I started looking at my farms and stuff for some reason, and I also went in another and came back instantly. Day 48. I accidentally got fire aspect 1 on my sword, so I needed a grindstone, and I didn't know the recipe for that, so I looked it up and started preparing stuff for it. Also had some visitors, taught them a lesson and went to grind EXP. When I came back, I decided to enchant my armor and got very lucky there. Started day 49 with farming some EXP. After farming for some time, I went for mining and found diamonds in no time at all. Mined them with the fortune pick and got 15. Really don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Kept mining for the rest of the day and found some redstone and iron. Day 50, we're halfway through the challenge, and I wanna beat the video in some days. Again, spent a lot of time on enchantments. I found a fire protection enchantment, so I decided to enchant my leggings with it, got unbreaking with it too. Later I tried to enchant my helmet and it showed unbreaking 3, so I took it and got fire protection 4. I already got that for my leggings, so I'm gonna have to remove that. Also, I wanted to beat the wither, and for that I need to get wither skeleton skulls from the nether. So I went into the nether and got annoyed by these hoglins. Also ghasts started shooting at me. Wasn't a good experience. Didn't record on day 51 but didn't do that much. Day 52. The world border size is going to increase. I increased the size by 20 blocks and that didn't change much. After that I went to the nether and all of the annoying hoglins were there. I wanted to test if the skeletons can spawn on netherrack, and they can't. They can only spawn on nether bricks, which are made out of cooked netherrack. So I grabbed a bunch of netherrack because I wanted to make a wither skeleton farm for wither skeleton skulls, which can be used to summon the wither. On day 53, I cooked a bunch of netherrack which made nether bricks. Using the nether bricks, I made nether brick blocks and went into the nether. I added them in the with the skeleton farm. Nether was annoying as always, but I still added a lot of nether brick blocks there. Day 54. I again cooked a lot of netherrack and went into the nether. I made the wither skeleton farm, but when nether brick block was left, I found a lot of wither skeletons and they didn't drop a single wither skull. Later I made this wall around the farm so that no light can come through and affect the spawn rates. Later I killed this enderman and slept. On day 55 I did a lot of enchantments. I wasted some levels on this loyalty enchantment because it wasn't giving me any new enchantments. I also got this Might 4 and put it on my sword. After that I got a lot more enchantments, farmed a lot of more EXP. I got this projectile protection on my chest plate too. Later I went in the nether again and built this bridge to the spawner, killed a lot of wither skeletons, got hit by them too. Day 56, I grindstone on my leggings because I wanted the enchantments. After that I went into the nether and killed a lot of hoglins, killed a lot of wither skeletons and they didn't drop the skulls. Later I came back to the overworld and used up all of my EXP on my leggings. I got Thorns 3 and Blast Protection 4. Started day 57 with grinding for EXP, and after that I got 27 levels. I spent them on getting looting 2 on my sword and power 2 on my bow. Again went to farm EXP and came back to get fire respect on my sword too. I also broke my anvil so I had to make a new one. On day 58 I put unbreaking on my leggings, so that was great. Later I went to the nether and finally got one with a skull, thanks to looting 2. Day 59 I went to the blade spawner and kept trying to kill them for the entire day. Struggled to kill them but still managed to get 7 rods. That's all I need. I also made an extra set of diamond armor because my previous armor was about to break. On day 60 I got super lucky. At first I just did normal stuff, fixed my diamond armor and did enchantments and stuff. But later when I went to kill the wither skeletons, I got 2 wither skeleton skulls. A skeleton dropped 1 skull and I was looking at it in shock. And some more skeletons spawned and that gave me another skull. And I didn't even realize that for a moment. Okay, so here's something I want to talk about. Day 60 to day 80 I did a lot of stuff, even beat the wither and my world got deleted. But I made a backup on day 61 in case the wither crashed my game, so now I have to do everything at it between day 60 and day 80 again. Anyway, day 61, I went into the nether and collected soul sand to summon the wither, got everything I would need and went into the mines. I put everything except 1 wither skull and my heart was beating very fast. If I die, it's over. I shot arrows at the wither till he reached half his health and then started striking with my Smite 4 sword. It helped me a lot, and yes, I defeated the wither and got the nether star. This was my second time beating the wither. The first time was in this same world that got deleted. On day 62 I got a bit organized and smelted sand for the beacon, then I realized that I need obsidian for it too, so I got it from the other side of my nether portal. I made the beacon but didn't have ore blocks to activate it, so I decided to find iron and made iron blocks to activate the beacon. I cleared out a lot of this area for no reason at all, came back with a ton of iron and smelted it. At night I looked at my beautiful house. Day 63. I made 6 iron blocks and 9 is the minimum you need for activating a beacon. So I went for mining and again cleared out a lot of this area. Also did a lot of strip mining and got a lot of iron. Later I completely dismantled my farm because I'm going to move it to the other side of the house. We have a stack of days completed on day 64. I had enough iron blocks to activate the beacon, so I started digging straight down from the center of my house. Kept digging and there was lava down there. Doesn't matter because it is not existent now. I put all the iron blocks down there and activated the beacon, used water to come up, and it was already night time because it took me a long time to do basically everything. Day 65 I started something secret which I will tell you about in some days. After that I chopped down some wood to clear out this area for moving the farm here. Then I moved the farm here and chopped down a lot of wood and started making this custom tree. Not finished yet but it looks good. Day 69 I chopped down a lot of wood because wood is a renewable resource. How many times have I said this line? Comment below how many times you think I have said this. Anyway, later I went into the mob farm and added these trapdoors, finished the farm. Later I chopped down a lot of wood again. Day 67. I went down in the mines and wanted to make a mob farm, so I started work on that. Kept working on it for the entirety of day 67 and mined some iron too. Can't really say anything about day 68. Kept working on the mob farm and also did some work on the secret I told you about. On day 70 I smelted a lot of iron I had gathered, and also forgot to add chests and hopper down there in the mob farm, so I crafted them and added them down there. I also made this area to look at the mobs from outside. Day 71, I started making this path from my house. I also started turning this pond into a real custom pond. Later I made this bridge across this river. And that's all. On day 72 I went down to farm some mobs when I noticed that it wasn't producing that much mobs. So I went up to see what the problem was and realized there were lots of spiders. So I started placing down these buttons to prevent spiders from spawning. Later I kept working on the top secret I told you about. I started making a path on the other side of my house on day 73 and later went down to farm some mobs again. After that I continued the other path and got it over here. And also in the evening I started taking down this abomination. Day 74. I don't know why I decided to go in the nether, but I did. I found some wither skeletons and got a wither skeleton skull, which was not expected at all. I came back and placed it over here for now. Later found some mobs down here. I evolved the pond to its maximum level on day 75, got some sand from this increased world border area, grabbed some cores, got some gravel and clay too. After that I used all of the sand, gravel and clay to make the pond look realistic and good. I put the core in there too. Later I got more cores and put them in the farm. Day 76 I made some bone blocks and did a lot of tree stuff, placed some saplings, chopped some wood and also started making another tree, but this time it was birch. Harvested some leaves for the custom tree too. Day 77, I harvested a lot of birch and oak leaves. I completed the custom birch tree with the leaves and also started making a custom tree near the pond. The reason why I'm making all these custom trees is that I want to give this place a jungle vibe and I think it's successful. On day 78, I just looked at all of these things I had created and went into the nether for a murderous rampage. Killed everything inside, killed hoglins, piglins, skeletons, wither skeletons. Everything inside was annihilated. I really don't know why I did that, but I did. Day 79. I wanted to make some redstone lamps and daylight detectors to put them on my trees, so I went into the nether and got some quartz. I needed glowstone too and remembered where I saw it last time, so I went there and got some. Later when I came back I made the daylight detectors and redstone lamps and put them on the tree. On day 80 I put the redstone lamps and daylight detectors on the rest of the trees. Then I went for mining and used the mob farm. Then I kept mining and found some iron. I already had some iron too, so I smelted it all. And later at night I put 2 redstone lamps in the pond to make it look good. Day 81. The secret will be revealed today. First I went down to farm some EXP and came back to open this secret chest. And yeah, this was the secret. I know it isn't that overpowered, but it's really all I would need. Then I started combining the stuff with enchantments, farmed some EXP, combined stuff, farmed some EXP and kept doing that for the rest of the day. On day 82 I got some more quartz in the lake. I also wanted to get some other fishes but they weren't spawning at all. Later I did a lot of more enchantment stuff, went into the nether and farmed some wither skeletons. Later I took down the abomination that was here but wasn't recording. My friends added the end portal room for me on day 83 in the limited blocks because the real one can't spawn. I was struggling a lot to find it, kept mining for a lot of time, even found diamonds but couldn't find the portal room. And that's how the entire day 83 was spent. On day 84 I continued mining for the portal room and finally found it, and it looks gorgeous. Unfortunately the portal didn't have any eyes on it, so I will have to farm for the ender pearls. Day 85. I found some mobs and stuff, but again it seemed very inefficient, so I tried to fix it but couldn't figure out what was going on. Soon it turned nighttime and I started hunting for ender pearls. Had to annihilate other mobs that were in my way too. By the way, I got a good amount of ender pearls. Okay, you gotta believe this. Day 86. I forgot to record and was mining obsidian below the end pearl and accidentally jumped and got in the end. I wasn't ready but had a lot of stuff, so I believed I could beat the ender dragon. But when I tried to build to the main island, I realized that I was outside of the world border. I still don't know why I wasn't taking damage. Anyway, after that I was trying to increase the world border size when the dragon shot his magic ball thing and that was killing me in like 5 seconds. Is that a fair death? I don't think so. Please comment what you think it was, fair or unfair. After that I got my stuff back from the creative inventory because I didn't want to go there. On day 87 I went back to the end because I thought I would increase the world border size there. So I went there, but what I didn't remember was that the magic ball would still be there. When I realized that, I paused my game and began looking for an option to change my game mode because I still can't build here. And I couldn't find any option. So I resumed the game and accepted my fate. Later I found out that I have to increase the world border size from the overworld because Java Edition has these massive bugs. Day 88 to day 90, I did some normal stuff and got prepared. I got some beds too. This time I increased the world border size from outside and went in the end. I tried shooting the crystals, it took a long time. It was super hard. By the way, I also did this clutch which was pretty cool. Later I tried damaging the dragon with bats, and my bats got finished too. I tried various ways, and finally my last hit was with the bow. I defeated the dragon in a 100 by 100 Minecraft world. The fight lasted between day 88 and day 92. 4 Minecraft days and nights, that's like more than an hour. Anyway, day 93, I wanted to make the place look like a beautiful forest in these 100 days, so I got some redstone lamps and started placing them on the sides of the path. I will place them in the dirt and cover them with leaves. I also started making another custom birch tree. On day 94, I started making another custom tree. I want to completely cover the sides of the path with custom trees and flowers. I completed the tree and also completed the custom birch tree from yesterday. Day 98, I made another custom tree. Day 100 is getting close, so I need to finish the work. I bone milled grass too, and later I bone milled some saplings a little bit far from the path. That makes it look more like a forest. On day 96, I continued making more and more custom trees. Later I added a lot of lanterns here and there. I also started making a street lamp and also made the sheep farm smaller. Day 95, continued work on the custom trees, and when I came near the waterfall, I saw that the lava I had put near the tree caused fire. Thank God I came here before it spread to all of my trees. I extinguished the fire and the fire had completely destroyed one of my custom trees. Later I made more custom trees. On day 97 I made another street lamp. It was harder to do than it looks. Later I bone milled a lot of grass around the path areas and it looks great. Day 99, one day before we leave this place. On day 99 I just did normal stuff, did everything slowly because it's near and I'm just trying to make it perfect. I also added seagrass in the pond. Day 100, the last day in this world. I did some things to make the place perfect, went in the end to get the dragon egg and placed it right over here with these lamps. Also my friend sent me this monkey skin, so I used that. I look cool. And finally, this is the tour of this place. So here's the conclusion. Was it worth it? I think it was worth it. Had a lot of fun, and now I have an achievement of surviving 100 days in a 100 by 100 Minecraft world. How much time did it take? For the recording part, it took me like 17 days, and for the editing part, it took me like 15 days. So it took me a real life month to make this video. Will I upload more of these? Yes, the next video will be a 100 days video if I can make quickly. But if I can't make it quickly, I will make another video to fill the gap and keep working on the video. So at last, I just want to ask you to like because this took me a lot of effort. And also subscribe if you want more of these videos. See ya!